Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of CEO and Market Expert Interviews. I'm your host, Lucian. Most of you know me as Triangle Investor from social medias. I would like to welcome once again Brad Rourke, CEO of Scotty Resources, who has come to share us more good news from Scotty. Always good to see you, Brad. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Happy New Year to you, and good to see you always. Let's start with the news. 59.2 grams per ton gold over 2.5 meters and 35.2 grams per ton over 2 meters at Blueberry Zone. You continue with the high grade intercepts over here. Walk us through this press release you announced and what is the significance of this assays?
Sure. So, we've been had a pretty big campaign at Blueberry over the last few years. I mean, 2024 season is a little bit different because we did the least amount of drilling we've done in years at Blueberry, as we want to kind of make people aware of we're more than just Blueberry. But, knowing that we're coming out with our MRE, the very first resource that we've had, and knowing that those intercepts that we released yesterday are going to be included for that MRE. So it's connecting shapes. From a technical point of view, we're very excited, and they're obviously very respectable intercepts, of course. But from the modeling team and from Thomas and such, it's just giving us just we feel good about that MRE coming out, and Blueberry should be exactly what we think it is. So we're only about 5, 6, 7 weeks away from that MRE coming out. So great intercepts. But mostly I would like people to kind of look back at all the other news releases over the years and just understand they're working in concert with other great intercepts and not just some one hole that we get to build on. This is, I wouldn't call it infill drilling because we were so spatially far apart, but really just trying to connect shapes as the resource modeler who's independent from Scotty can come up with a good estimate of the resource.
Yeah, I think you get a lot of questions about the expectations of MRE. So what are you telling to people when they ask you about it?
Well, we're targeting 1 million ounces for the first MRE, and maybe in our estimations, because again, it's out of our hands, it's out of Thomas's hands.
Sure.
It's totally independent who does this, but 75% of that resource should come out of Blueberry, and about 25% from the Scotty gold mine. And the Scotty gold mine, in our estimations, will be a little bit higher grade than the Blueberry, even though we have those fantastic intercepts like you see yesterday. And mostly because we've done an awful, or most of our drilling's about the first 300 meters at Blueberry. Although we've hit mineralization and still open down at 525,000 meters or 525 meters. But we're just kind of focusing on getting that resource out. We're targeting 1 million. And really what I'd like to express to people is that when you look at how few meters it took for us to potentially hit this 1 million ounce, we're going to know here in a bit. And if it's a little less or a little bit more, I don't think that matters from an economic point of view for what we're doing. We're still open. We believe we can continue to add ounces. I'm very comfortable saying I'm targeting 2 million ounces right now at Scotty. Some analysts are suggesting more, and it just needs more drilling. But for what we've learned over the 6 past seasons of drilling, yeah, we feel very good that we can continue to add ounces. And so this is the first step. Other things happening. We got ore sorting studies going on right now to see what can we upgrade ore for, because shipping of ore is economical. And really what we want to do is get to the economics of I think it's being missed by the market. We're permitted. We have a road. We have green power on site, brownfield, sanitary 2 mines, and a very, very attractive high-grade deposit that's right on surface. So I think 2025, we'll get this off our plates here in the next few weeks. We still have some more news to come out, but we really want to get at the economics of what the potential of Scotty is.
Yeah, Brad, how many assays is left for reporting and when do you expect them?
I think we should finish up by the end of the month. Probably one more news release. I'm not exactly sure how many holes, probably 4, 5, 6 holes left to go. And yeah. So it's probably just one more by the end of the month, and then we'll start giving other types of news that we've never given out before. Resource, ore sorting, and some other things. Yeah.
Yeah, despite high grade samples and easy road access, the Blueberry vein has only limited reported drilling prior to the company's exploration work. Why is that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't know. And when we bought the Blueberry in 2018, it was a very expensive purchase for how small we were at that time, and we didn't publish the drill hole that was drilled at Blueberry, like I think in 2013 or so. It was fantastic. I mean, it was too big, and so we just kind of only report our own. But yeah, I think there was only a total of 6 drill holes. Blueberry was just a vein on surface, and even when we purchased it, we assumed it was just a continuation of Scottie Gold Mine, but then we've redefined it a little bit, and there's a lot of similarities to peritite pyrite mineralogy on these vein sets. But unlike where Scottie is in the andesite and Blueberry, we've come to the realization that the fluids are coming up the contact. That's not the same at Scottie, but the trap is peritite pyrite, and so that's where the gold's getting trapped along Blueberry. There was 6 shallow holes, if my memory sounds correct. They were very interesting. Of course, we purchased that for that. It's a tough business, right? And
Yeah.
there's the company we bought it for just had so many targets in and around the Golden Triangle. So, much like us, we've got so many other things we could drill. We just don't drill it because you got to be focused. Or from the approach we're taking is, in the first couple of years, I was drilling over at Georgia River, drilling all over the place. And then a lot of the advice that we had is like, hey, let's make this focused. Let's drill from the inside out, not all over the place. So, it's probably the same reason that it wasn't drilled more. And they knew that vein was there, but they didn't know the lithological contact. That's what Thomas came out. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a new discovery because we redefined the geology and we haven't looked back since. So it's really good for us that they didn't drill it more previously. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it.
Yeah, definitely. Brad, okay, when you publish MRE, what is next?
Well, I think around the same time we should get this ore sorting study. We sent a big sample of rocks out to Germany, and I suspect, again, I'm never in control of somebody else's work, but we suspect that we should have those results back. In our minds, it's something that we're really excited to because we're going to kind of switch our narrative. Scottie is only 40 kilometers away from a deep water shipping facility that's underutilized. It's where Bruce Jack sends their concentrates. It's where Skeena's going to send their ores, and Red Chris. So all those other companies have a business case, and they're driving 200 kilometers plus on a highway to get there, where we're just down the road, gravel road, with the exception of a tiny little bit of pavement in the town of Hyder. But the bulk terminal's right there, underutilized. This is why we brought Kevin Jennings in. This is kind of he's a financial modeler of mineral deposits, and his relationships with all these smelters around the world is quite extraordinary. And so that's the news that I think will be exciting, where we're just going to try and differentiate ourselves. We're just not another junior exploration company. We're going to actually show economics to what it is that we found so far. We can continue to add ounces. But I think that business case is what's being missed, where, we're stuck in this $40-50 million market cap. But, so we'll see. I mean, that's going to be a big change for us. Other exciting things. Remember, Newmont's just to the north of us, and Ascot's just to the south of us. And there's big changes this week with Ascot. Just kind of they shuffled the deck with management. They've had such big troubles there over the last few years, but it's going to turn. That mill's going to turn on, and so we're really excited to kind of see new life put into that. Some very big financial partners. So I think these are things that are all going to have to work themselves out. But when we start showing the economics of what that ore could mean from a financial perspective, and we think that we could have that by the end of 2025, apart from the drill season that we're going to also do in 2025.
Yeah, when you mentioned financial, last time you were in my show, we didn't touch on Franco Nevada partnership. How is that cooperation going and what are the plans ahead? And is this a multi level cooperation or just the financing part?
Okay, well, with Franco Nevada, we're very blessed. Just to remind people, as far as we know, we're one of the only stories in the history of Franco Nevada for them to give money to pre-resource. They're not in the business of buying
Yeah.
royalties for something that's 25 or 20 years out in the future. So that, that technical team is deemed one of the best in the world. Uh, they have been very forthcoming with information and kind of giving their perspective on what they see. And, we were shocked. Well, they just have such bigger financial ability than we, but the studies that they've done on Blueberry, and they think that we're underselling ourselves. Pretty much they leave us alone, but I'm meeting with, Chris Bell and team, 2, 3, 4 times a year. I just got an email from him a couple days ago, but it just seems to be pretty good. But we get a lot of encouragement and maybe suggestions on how we should present, but they're not in the business of directing how we run the business. I think if we stepped outside or colored outside the lines, I'm sure they'd be on it with us. But for the most part, they're encouraging, give us some great ideas, and maybe making a few introductions to us that with entities that might not pick up our phone for being a small company. So it's been great so far. It's been about a year, and we're really happy, and we're in a strong financial position today because of that money that Franco gave us, last April, I think it was. And, we chose to hold back and do a smaller program because in case the market was exactly where it is today. So I think it's been one of the better things that happened to us because we're in a financially, we're solid at the moment.
Yeah, you are definitely blessed to have this kind of giant corporation behind you. Definitely very rare to see in the exploration and development world, of course. Let's touch on the insider buying. I have SEDA insider filings in front of me. You and your team continue to buy on the open market. I see that you bought on January 10th, and then Mr. Jennings bought on January 13th, and there are actually when you open Scotty filings, it's all green. There is basically no red color on it. So my question is, do you plan to continue to do so through the market weakness?
I bought some this morning about half hour ago.
Okay, that's
And
exclusive.
and it's funny because I swore I'd never buy another share, and not because I don't believe. It's just I've been here 10 years and I've got over $1 million. For me it goes into a black hole until there's a transaction. I will never have access to that capital again. But coming in to what we see internally, and Kevin's over 10% of the registry right now, and he's continuing to buy. So it's a very big black hole for Kevin. He truly believes, and for John Williamson to step up, Thomas stepped up.
Yeah.
I just don't have anywhere better to put my money right now. And I've been a professional investor for 35 years, and somehow I was successful at it. And at this stage, I feel pretty comfortable. And if someone's gonna sell me the stock for under $1, in fact, under $1.20 for me is a gift. So yeah, no, I'm happy to buy, and you'll probably see me buy more. It's just I'm an investor, and I see at this what I truly believe at the market cap that we see today. Is there room for growth? And I see. Yeah, I believe. And again, Kevin being the position, I mean, he's an authority in this industry, and the junior exploration or the junior mining people might not know who he is, but I'll guarantee you the people at the upper level, the bigger companies certainly do.
Yeah.
And Kevin's actually brought a lot of new enthusiasm. It's tough, right? When you work this long, 6 seasons, never been rewarded, but it's Kevin that's really put some wind in our sails, and and his experience is beyond what most junior exploration companies would have access to. And so, yeah, he's got us charged up, and he's got about 70 spreadsheets financially. And, we look forward to, we just can't put the cart in front of the horse. I need that MRE before I can start talking about other things, because otherwise it's just a big story that a junior exploration is giving me, but give me some numbers, and I'm going to show numbers on that port being that close and China being underserviced, all their smelters. They built too many smelters.
Yeah.
If we can upgrade that ore with this ore sorting study and get to where we think we can get it to, again, we're only 6 weeks, 2 months away. I think the economics could be very, I think people will go, oh, that's what we think. And so I'm happy to buy. And if it takes another 2 years, I'm lucky enough that I can keep putting a little bit of money into some of these things.
That's great to hear, Brad. I have final question. It's about the jurisdiction question. The Golden Triangle Mining District ranks among the richest gold copper belts in the world and the most mining friendly areas. Last time you were in my show, I believe I asked you what are the most significant advantages of doing business and exploration there. Now I would like to ask you what are the biggest challenges you face there and what would you change maybe?
I don't know if there's challenges, and that'd be sentiment in the market. I mean, yes, Canada is one of the better places around the world to be able to go into this business, but it's not easy. I mean, government regulation is way different than it was. I started doing mineral exploration stuff in 1989. It's a lot more difficult. There's a lot more T's to cross and I's to dot, and a lot rather than just getting at what we're doing. So,
does it takes too long from the, let's say, discovery to the production? I mean,
if you're a greenfield project,
Yeah.
even in Canada, it's difficult. Luckily, I have a mining permit, so we believe that is a big advantage for what you see at Scotty. I think the jurisdiction is I mean, the whole market doesn't care about anybody at this moment, but you got to remember, Orion just gave Skeena $1 billion. They're a $1.4 billion company. That was a $60 million market cap company 4.5 years ago. Newmont, I think, is what people are missing is, sure, they bought the Bruce Jack for just over $4 billion. That's kind of the estimate that people would see. This whole 2024, they're focusing on divesting in mines that they didn't find that were core. Well, that I think they're down to one left to sell, or maybe two. That team, in my opinion, I don't know. I'm not in the room with them. Now they're going to start focusing on their existing assets and how they can improve them. That's really good for the Golden Triangle. Red Chris is ripping up. Ascot. Again, despite their challenges, it's about $180 million market cap today. I've been in the area pretty much my whole life. You couldn't build that thing for $1 billion. It has a little bit of uncertainty around ore, but it's the Golden Triangle. There are deposits everywhere. It is a mathematical equation that will get worked out. And so I think there's a lot of interesting things could be happening. And there are some exploration companies that are doing quite well in the Golden Triangle. Again, they're probably better at promotion than I am. But again, that's good for the whole industry. So even though it's tough everywhere, all jurisdictions around the world, again, about $7 billion have been committed to the Golden Triangle in the last five years. That's an extraordinary amount of money. And more so that, I physically staked Kemess mines as part of SK Creek Staking Rush. This is a long time, very long time ago. It was very skinny back then. And, I haven't seen the level of buy-in from big people, even when Calpine and Murray Pezim was still going strong in our area, to what we see now. It's just, the market just hasn't picked up on it. It's been tough. The whole sector's been tough. Way tougher than I ever would have imagined when I got involved. I never meant to be in this business. I was just an investor in this company.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I call myself Triangle Investor is a big success I had with one company from Golden Triangle, and that is actually Skeena. But there is one underperformer in BC at the moment, and that is Brixton. Would you agree?
It's tough. It's just a tough business. I know the team at Brixton. I know Gary, but his technical team, I have a ton of respect for, whether it's Christina or Danny or such. And I go, it's just tough. And you know, I see him out on the road doing marketing, and it's a good project. I think, you know, it's a little bit different than Scotty's, but it's tough. And I think it's a matter of waiting that out and buying right. And, you know, I just think people are getting exhausted. Brixton's still a very good story, but it's tough. You know, you think that BHP position would have given, you know, underpinned some stability there. And unfortunately, when these big companies come in, they have no desire to buy in the market and move that price up, right? Because that's not, if they like it, they're going, well, you know. So these are just things that you have to balance out when you take your investors in and stuff. But, you know, they're working hard. I have a respect for that technical team. And it's just hold on, right? And just don't color outside the lines. I think it's survival. We need a bunch of these companies just to go away. And it just truly is, because, you know, we see, you know, and of course my story is the best. There's no such thing as a CEO not saying their story is the best.
Of course.
But we also see, you know, just some stories are going, oh my gosh, if people weren't putting money into that obvious flawed story, there would be, you know, more focus on perhaps things that would be better chances of actually creating value. And so, you know, but that's just what it is. But no, I have a respect for BBB, and I don't own it myself, but I follow it closely, and I think that team's good. So, yeah, it's tough. I'm sorry if you have it. It's you know, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Great talking to you, Brad. That was Brad Rourke, CEO of Scotty Resources. I wish you luck. Let's talk soon.
Well, luck has nothing to do with it. Just surviving at this moment. But, you know, gold's moving up. Like, everything's working in our favor. It's just a sentiment thing. And when this tech thing kind of rolls over and people start getting scared and realize, you know, that the role that gold's going to play in the future. And we should be rewarded. We'll never get the timing right. And this has been quite a lesson for me. But
yeah,
I've lost any enthusiasm.
Yeah, we need those crypto investors back to gold, silver, uranium, and all those commodities. Definitely.
And eventually they will. I mean, you know, the crypto and the gold bug, whatever that means, we all have similar reasons why we'd have it. And I'm a crypto investor, and I'm probably between CNQ and Bitcoin. Those are the best two trades, or I haven't traded, but I own in the last 10 years. Right, they're actually some of my best ever, and you know, so I'm happy with that. But we don't compete. But it's normal to see that. It's speculation now with all these meme coins or what be it. That's going to get washed out for sure. I'm a proud owner of Bitcoin, and I'm not selling it. I think it was 103,000 a day, or I looked this morning.
Yeah, I will not ask you about your average. Don't worry.
Oh no, I'm good. I bought it 6-7 years ago, right? Yeah. So we're fine there, but it's, you know, when I see this Michael Saylor and Frank Justra, like, I'm going, this is crazy. Like, why are we even comparing the two? One's a speculative asset that may or may not become something, and one has 5,000 years. It's the perfect abacus. It is truly rare. A reason a Van Gogh painting's worth $40 million because they're rare. Well, gold, regardless, is still very rare. You can't go print it. You can't go find it. It's about half ounce on the planet Earth for every human being. It's a perfect little abacus. And because central banks are buying it, central banks are not buying Bitcoin as far as I know right now. So there's room for both. It's just the 100 times earnings stuff that you see in some of these other companies. Just look at just look at miners, man. They've never been cheaper, and they've never been better run right now. And we see that at the top. That is going to trickle down to us. I think 2025 is going to be an exciting year, but you know, just buy right and sit tight. That's all you can do as an investor.